Sup, bro?
What's up, bro?
And welcome everybody to the show. This is Películas with the Bros. My name is Adrian.
My name is Ivan.
And Películas with the Bros is a show where me and my brother Ivan discuss a new movie every week. We discuss a new movie. Ivan, what is the movie of the week?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
That is correct. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But before we get into that, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We are a podcast. We're a YouTube show. So if you like a podcast, go to any podcast platform of your choice and look us up. Películas with the Bros, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Deezer, Radio, blah, blah, blah. We're there. If you like YouTube, if you like videos, if you like two Mexicans on video, not in a weird way, go to Películas with the Bros on the search icon up there on youtube.com or something like that and hit the subscribe button. Also, let us know what you think of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in the comments below. Ivan, last time we convened here in this beautiful house of mine on blank street.
It's a long name for your street.
We talked about Bayo is Afraid. We've been gone for a week, but Bayo is Afraid. Lasting thoughts.
It's good. It's silly, scary. It's good.
I want to rewatch it one day. Ivan, the movie of the week is
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
written and directed by James R. Gunn. Just kidding. I don't know if the R is right. The premise of this movie: the Guardians are settling into their new HQ on the planet Nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Mantis, Drax, Groot, Nebula, Rocket Raccoon all seem to be doing fine, but Quill is still dealing with losing his Gamora, while the reincarnated Gamora doesn't want anything to do with him. All is peaceful on Nowhere until a super-powered freakazoid attacks the Guardians and critically injures Rocket. To make matters worse, Rocket can't be healed until the kill switch that was embedded by Rocket's creator is turned off. Now, the Guardians must travel the galaxy to save their furry friend. Ivan with the cast of Chris Pratt as Peter Quill, Zoe Saldana as Gamora, Dave Bautista as Drax, Karen Gillian.
Bautista bomb.
Does he do that?
No.
Oh. Karen Gillian as Nebula, Palm Clementif as Mantis, Vin Diesel as Groot, still can't believe that, Bradley Cooper as Rocket, Will Poulter as Adam Warlock, Sean Gunn as Kraglin, and Chukwudi Uiji as the High Evolutionary.
Who's
Ivan.
Kraglin?
What?
Who's Kraglin?
What did I say?
Sean Gunn?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought you meant Sean Penn. Never mind.
Did I say Sean Penn?
No?
Oh,
I
okay.
just heard.
That's fine. Ivan. Hi.
Hey.
How's it going?
Gone.
That was a lot, huh?
Yeah.
That was chunky. We're going to be talking about this movie, but before we get into the movie, the director, James Gunn.
Jimothy R. Gunnathy.
Something about that R.
Yeah.
I think we did a podcast on Suicide Squad. Yes, we did.
Yeah, probably.
What's the movie? The Suicide Squad.
Another Guardians.
What?
I don't think yet. Are you asking what else he's done?
No. What was the name of the Suicide Squad movie?
The Suicide.
The Suicide Squad. Okay, so we did a podcast about that. But his movies up until now, we have Slither, Super, Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Suicide Squad. He also made the show Peacemaker. Never watched it, right?
I watched.
You like it?
It's good.
Oh, yeah. Do you like James R. Gunn?
Jimothy R. Gunn.
Yeah.
I do like him. He's fun.
Jimothy Triple R. Gunn.
Yeah. Sure. Quad R.
He's good?
Yeah.
Why?
He seems like he's humble and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
This feels like the mirror of Thor 4.
Thor, don't do that. I hate when you do that.
Oh, Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yes. The mirror as in...
Like everything that one was trying to be is this.
That's a good point. That's a good point. We'll talk about that in a bit because I have similar ideas of that. But to your point of like, you like Gunn, I feel like he has a good sense of time and place as far as like his movies kind of speak to the culture. Like they're not leaps and bounds like futuristic, but they're
Yep.
also not old school, and like they know what they're doing.
Yep.
They're kind of crass.
Mm-hmm.
There's always comedy in it.
Yep.
But there's good action pieces, and it's always playful. Like even the action and stuff is crass, but like it's still playful at the same time. Music selection, we already know that. I mean,
Come
on. Underdogs are a big theme of his. Like he likes underdogs. Suicide Squad, obviously. Guardians, underdogs.
Superman.
The biggest, literally the biggest underdog of
Yeah.
all time. The interesting thing about him, and I didn't even think about this until I was actually doing the research for the podcast, that the last time he worked with Marvel was obviously Volume 2, but he was
16.
hired. He was fired and rehired in between those.
Right.
I thought I had my timelines mixed up, but kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
That
Like
whole
you wouldn't really know unless like you looked up. Besides like the years,
has it been? How long has it been? Like 5 years, 6 years?
I think around that.
That's crazy. But I guess it's because Guardians has always been close with Thor.
Mhm.
They were like making cameo appearances in that, and also Infinity War, Endgame, all
Mhm.
that. Fired, rehired, and now he's the head of DC. He's gonna make the next Superman movie. Jesus Christ! I mean, what is this monster doing?
Everything right.
He's like pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
I wonder
Yeah.
like how he actually got that gig, cause like you look at his movies, and like you just look at like the biggest ones, right? Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Before that, he made 2 small indie films.
Yeah.
From doing those to going to the head of DC
Mm-hmm.
movies, that's a big leap.
Yep.
Like it kind of would make sense if a Spielberg would do it, not like style wise, but just like his rep.
Yeah.
If the rep of Nolan got it, sure.
Yeah.
Even the rep of Zack Snyder, who's had like 10 films before
Yep.
his other blockbusters like Man of Steel. Gunn must know something.
Yeah.
Sorry, I paused on my timeline in my head. Gunn must know how to speak. He must know how to talk to people. There's something in him.
Probably a nice guy.
There it is.
That's all it is.
But imagine, like, we've talked about nice guys before as directors, but they sometimes make bad movies.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least last time we talked about it, I think it was. But what if there's a nice guy who can actually make good movies?
Jimothy R Gunnathy.
Ow! Give me like 10 years from now. What are we gonna be thinking about J 444 quad R Gun? Like 10 years from now, what is it we're gonna be like Gun?
Mm-hmm.
Blank, 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 blank. Period.
Think pioneer first and foremost.
You messed up.
What?
Great
Our
question.
tour?
Great question.
Oh, well, it wasn't a great question. So,
Okay.
I mean, I just trust him with DC. He seems like he knows what he's doing
Mhm.
and he's making the right calls. Like I saw his announcement for the DC slate,
Yes.
and it was just like a video of him talking.
Uh-huh.
But like the Superman one, like the one comic I like of Superman is All-Star Superman.
Yep.
And he used that picture as like the representation of his movie.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, he knows.
Yes.
He's good.
Yeah. I agree. I think with him we are gonna get consistently good movies from DC. Let's not count Flash and Aquaman in that though.
What about Blue Beetle? What about Blue Beetle?
No,
What about Blue Beetle?
it can't.
But he's Mexican.
I just want to rap. Here on Pilicos with the Bros, we like to look at how the sausage was made. Ivan, this movie has been destined. It's like they've been talking about this movie after Volume 2. First 2 movies were big hits. Obviously, they're going to make this up. There's nothing really interesting. The only thing that's interesting about this movie's production or lead up is just that he got fired and rehired in that meantime. And shout out to his cast who actually stood behind him and like, this guy's a good guy. Stop. He made a weird joke on Twitter. Who cares about that?
Yeah.
But off of that and into the Marvel sphere, how this movie kind of revolves around Marvel. The last Marvel film was Ant-Man. The next one is The Marvels. How you feeling about Marvel right now?
Come on. What are you doing to me? I'm more and more I'm predicting they're going to do like a comic book thing where they're going to redo all of it just because it got too big. So they're going to be like, you know what? Here's this movie where for whatever reason, everything is wiped out. And they're, if I were them, I would be like, I would do that now. Like clean out everything else or keep them and just change the scripts completely to account for the fact that they're going to flip it all right now.
Yeah.
Like, what do they have? Well, Miss Marvel is too late or Marvel's too late, but
it's Secret Wars and then like, I don't even know.
I feel like, I mean, I don't know. They're probably in script process, maybe like concept art sort of thing. But I think they should just, they keep it so they don't look stupid, but then behind the scenes, rewrite everything completely. And just have like one movie where it's like a reset. And then Secret Wars, it's like, there's Iron Man, there's this, like the actual Iron Man, you know, with like Tom Cruise or something, you know?
Yeah.
And it'll work because nobody actually cares. If they want good movies, not like stupid stuff.
When you look at their upcoming slate of movies, kind of underwhelming, but it's also like there's not as many films per phase as there was before.
Yeah.
Which makes me think, A, that they're going to keep it that way and they're like, okay, maybe we shouldn't make that many movies because people are getting tired of this. Or B, they just haven't announced it yet. I'm hoping it's A and they just stick, because like they have what? Blade.
I heard that one was getting like rewritten.
Like 20 times.
Yeah.
Who knows? All I know is people are getting tired of it. And I think Marvel,
They have to know.
Yeah, they know. They're not that dumb.
Yeah.
And they're trying to tweak things. And I'm sure Iger's there and he's like, tweak it, baby. So we'll see where that goes. For me, I kind of don't care. Like, I just gave, not so much that I gave up on them, more so like I handed down to all the other kids that it's time to watch these Marvel movies. I'm out of it. Ivan, enough with the
gallantry.
Correct. Let's talk about this movie. What'd you think of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
It's good.
Woo!
Nice classic.
You know, okay, this is what reminded me of. I was watching Guardians and every time, you know, the whole I am Groot thing. And I was like, epiphany. It hit me.
Oh, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. It's the same as I am Groot.
Yeah.
Layers and layers, and only I can dissect this stuff. Wait, do it again.
It's good.
Jesus Christ. That means it's like a 4.5.
Relax.
Oh. Ivan, I liked it a lot. Low key.
The best movie of all time?
Yeah. Low key, though.
That's a good character.
The most experimental Marvel movie of post-Endgame.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, like, Ant-Man could have been that.
Yes.
But, like, it's weird how, like, this one, like, I was comparing how there's, like, in Ant-Man, they have that weird world where they can do whatever they want. And it kind of feels like nothing. Like, nothing was memorable about it.
Yes.
Even though, like it's a tiny little universe inside. Like, they could do anything.
Yes.
But I don't remember any of it. But this one, they had, like, a 30-minute scene when they're in, like, that flesh, what do you call it? Flesh planet?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And that was, like, a million times more memorable than anything since Endgame. Whatever.
Correct. I agree with that. And I don't know there's something psychologically there that makes it memorable. I don't think it's technically like they do this so much better, but like everything works well, so it becomes memorable.
I think because when I saw that scene, I was like, why is this so crazy cool, fun, while like Ant-Man technically equal, technically, because it's like crazy cool, fun, isn't hitting. And I think it's because you could kind of visualize how it feels. Like there's like a texture to it where like you know what flesh feels like, but like a planet flesh and there's like pus coming out of it when they're like cutting it open.
Yeah.
Like you could feel all that like mentally.
Yeah.
But with Ant-Man, it's like I don't know what any of this is.
Do you think it's maybe now that you're saying that, and I kind of wanted to mention this too, like there's probably more practical effects in this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do feel that texture comes from like physicality of actual props.
Probably both. Maybe probably when they were on it, it was real, like stepping on it. I don't think they did that at all for Ant-Man.
Right. Cause yeah, there's that monster in Ant-Man that alien that's like gooey.
I don't even remember that.
He's like he's the translator. He's like, oh, and he's like all goo and they shoot holes through him.
Oh yeah.
And that's like a good scene where like you can kind of convey like grossness.
Yeah.
But that didn't really hit that well.
It was just that one guy.
And like Ant-Man, this is a sci-fi movie too, you know? Like Ant-Man is technically kind of a science fiction, especially the Quantumania. But this one, you really feel like you're watching a science fiction movie disguised as a Marvel film.
Yeah. Like it really feels like it's in space. Whereas Ant-Man, it felt like I know it's technically a tiny dot in like right here.
Quantumania.
Yes.
Yes.
But it felt like there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yep. Give me like Fifth Element vibes.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Starship Troopers. Just like the grossness. And that's another thing. Like Gunn likes like nasty things.
Mm-hmm.
He likes horror, he likes crude comedy, and he likes like gross things, and you get that in this film. And it's a Marvel film.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's why I also say it's an experimental Marvel film, but it's kind of you feel like you're watching a regular Marvel film, but there's some experimental things in it, whether it's the music selection, whether it's the cutting a belly planet open and it's like entrails and you're just going through it. All those things, and it makes it memorable. Yes. There's the hip hop song they use, the Beastie Boys, like near the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me think of a convo we had where it's like hip hop's never used right.
Right.
And that felt good.
This was recent, but I was thinking about that Rick Ross, Skrillex, Jared Leto song that they used for the first Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And like, it just doesn't make sense. Like,
yeah.
It's so out of touch compared to this, even though like this music isn't even relevant.
Right.
But it's relevant to like the people in the story, so it makes it relevant. But like, what's Rick Ross doing?
Right.
Like, get out of there.
Yeah.
It's obviously like just a paycheck sort of thing.
Oh, that's so true. And yeah, another thing that adds texture to this film is like the weird musical choices. There's scenes that don't even like the music doesn't match the scene. Another person there's like two directors that are great with needle drops, and that's Tarantino and Scorsese. But the Gunn's type of music selection is just like odd, but it still adds something to it.
It feels more, it's like a music video. There's just so much music in this. Like every scene where it wasn't dialogue, where like a transition, it was music. Like a ship flying, music, different song.
Yep.
And it's like from his playlist. So it's like
right.
that extra personal touch. It's not the score made by this one person who makes like the Marvel sound.
Yes.
Which is dumb.
Another experimental thing is just the dialogue. Like there's a couple scenes where there's extended pieces of dialogue where they're just talking.
Mm-hmm.
the one that stands out the most is when they go to that fake world, and there's the animal people,
Yeah.
and they're just talking in the living room for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't get that in Marvel films.
Yeah. I think they're kind of scared to let people be people.
Uh-huh.
They're more like, does this serve the plot?
Right.
Which I guess it's technically right to have that thought process, but then it costs them people, like characters who have mental thoughts.
Yes.
And then
Mental thoughts.
mental opposed to like physical thoughts. But you know.
And that's true. Like, what that does is also it makes all the characters in this movie their own person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's working with at least 10 characters in this film, and they all have their own unique voice, their own thought process, and you can kind of relate to the way they are. Like, I never thought I would care about Nebula at all.
Yep.
But now she's like kind of pretty cool.
Yep.
And then also Mantis. I'm like, why is Mantis part of the Guardians of the Galaxy? And now in this movie, she's totally leveled up and she's great with Drax. And he just knows how to mix these characters up.
I was like comparing it to Thor Love and Thunder the whole time. And it's so crazy how that movie, like everyone's kind of the same, like compared to this at least.
Yes.
Like I guess it kind of made sense for Ragnarok because it was like fresh at the time.
Uh-huh.
But doing it again, like everyone kind of had the same humor.
Right.
Where this, like, Star-Lord has his humor, Rocket has his humor, Drax.
Groot.
Yeah. Like they have their own comedic style.
Right.
Or their own personality too.
Yeah. Though couple of nitpicks I do have are like, I don't really get Quill and Gamora like where we left off.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of just didn't feel natural.
Yeah.
And was kind of, I guess it was kind of redundant too, because I feel like I've seen this where Gamora doesn't want to be with Quill, but I don't know where I remember that from.
Their whole relationship.
And then I kind of feel like Warlock was a missed, Adam Warlock, the new baddie in this. He was kind of a missed opportunity.
It kind of felt like on purpose though, like, oh, there's a new amazing superhero who's godlike, and then the whole time he's just a joke.
Yes.
So it's like turning it on its head sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I thought that too, but I didn't mind it too much. Like I did want more from him.
Uh-huh.
But I also liked how they're kind of making fun of Marvel in a way.
Right.
Because like they keep doing that where it's
Like
another
yeah.
Namor, like, oh, another.
Yep.
So it's good.
And saying that, like, the baddie in this movie is the high evolutionary, and I love how they kill him so easily. Like, it takes forever for them to finally go battle him.
Yep.
But once they do, they're just like, and then his face comes off, and that's like another thing. Like, you never see that in a Marvel film, but Gunn's like, let's just take this guy's face off.
Yep.
Shout out to that movie, John Travolta. Imagine Tom Cruise and John Travolta had a baby.
Tom Travolta.
Monster.
Yes.
He would rule the world. This movie's a raccoon origin story.
It is.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Heartfelt?
It was nice.
Nice.
It was good.
It was like the most emotional Gunn movie ever.
Yeah.
Did a good job.
Even Marvel, besides like
Black Panther. Wakanda Forever.
Eh.
Come on.
Nah.
I almost cried Wakanda Forever, the final scenes. Come on, man. Don't do that.
I couldn't because I couldn't take the movie seriously.
Like
I
that?
see.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. What do I have here? Oh, that the whole another gross thing is like the mechanized animal.
Oh yeah.
Just like how ugly they looked. Even Rocket looked beautiful compared to the other animals.
That was hard to watch.
But I remember I watched a YouTube video where they broke down a comic book called We Three, and it's by Grant Morrison and Frank Whiteley, the artist. And after watching this film, I'm like, this movie feels like it's heavily influenced by that because it's a sort of like three mechanized animals, different kinds of animals that are mechanized by the government, and they try to escape and they go against the government. And he was influenced by that. So like that whole plot line, he stated that he would love to make an adaptation of that comic book, but it just was really hard to.
Yeah.
So I think this is how he sneaked it in, which is pretty cool.
Smart.
The first F-bomb too.
Good, Adrian.
This the sad thing is like, what other director in Marvel's bag would give this leeway to make this kind of film?
I think he just has the perfect storm of like having the opportunity, and then he kind of had the upper hand. Like, you hired me back, you losers. Now I get to do what I want
And now I'm leaving.
Yeah, and it's the last movie, and I know how to make movies, and I'm going to DC. So like,
this guy just like has the upper hand.
Yeah.
Best cards in his hand every time.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's just rare. Like I can't imagine. Like this is kind of like a random blip on this post Endgame movies. Like I really don't think this is like this is the turning point.
Yeah. No. It almost feels like the end.
Yeah. This is where it should end.
Saying that, like maybe Feige's, I don't know how successful this movie is. I imagine
I think
it's not like
it's probably
the biggest Marvel film, but it's going to be pretty well. But like, I hope Feige's like, let's just give Raimi whatever he wants on the next Doctor Strange and let him do his thing. Cause like, that's the only, there's moments in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness that I feel were like A+. And then there's moments obviously that were an F. And same thing with this movie. Well, not same thing, but like there's moments, most of this movie is like an A.
Yeah.
So they should see that and be like, all right, all right, Raimi, you can do your thing. Give the directors the ability to make the movies they want.
But I don't think a lot of them are talented enough to, like, writing wise, to work around what Marvel has set up for them. Because like Jimothy. Triple R. Quad R. Gunn.
Quad R is like a cool sci-fi name.
Quad R.
Yeah.
He had to work around the fact that Gamora died. So like figuring out how to, because he planned it as a trilogy. So figuring out how to have the same ending while having Gamora be dead, but also she's back too. It's like, that's a problem in itself. And then I think Guardians is extra lucky because it doesn't have to really be a part of anything.
Yes.
Whereas everything else is on Earth.
Correct.
So it's kind of together. So I think even if they gave him the freedom, I don't think they can, unless they're like, they do the clean slate option where they're like, we'll just go with the flow. Like Raimi, do it, whatever you want, and then whatever happens, we'll work with it on the next script, and then just do it that way, like more jazz than.
Another option, and it's kind of like what they wanted to do, or what they said they were going to do, is like all of the Marvel films in the first three phases were like earthbound in a way, and the next couple phases should be like galaxy. So like instead of everything clustered in Earth, all the plots should be like galaxied out.
Yeah. And
there shouldn't be a connection.
That too. Yeah.
You know, like, but they haven't shown a hint of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they have with like your favorite movie of all time, The Eternals, but I feel like The Eternals and your favorite
Black Adam
Kubrick movie ever, Spartacus, are kind of like your like plot, your holes in your review game.
Right.
Random thought.
Sure.
What is like the best? What movie did I love that you're like, how can you love that film?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Okay. Do you want me to read? No, I don't want to read this guy's review. Who cares? Ivan, let's review this movie. Out of 5.
Sony Walkmans.
Come on, man. That was perfect. Out of 5 Sony Walkmans, how many Sony Walkmans is this?
You have 4.5.
Oof, you liar.
No.
I said 4.5 and you're like, no, relax, man.
You
Relax.
said 4.
Oh.
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah. Out of respect.
Really?
Out of respect, Adrian.
2?
God.
Good choice. Better than Magic Mike's Last Dance.
Yeah.
Better than As Good as Bale's Afraid. Wow.
Yeah.
I think this movie's better than Bale's Afraid, but I haven't rewatched it. So 4.25 out of 5 Walkmans. Ivan, this movie, I had a good time.
Yeah.
It was 2 hours and 30 minutes, but it didn't feel like that.
It was quick.
Yeah.
It was good.
Ivan, the next movie is Fool's Paradise.
Oh, is that
Charlie Day. Or we can do the Blackberry movie with your boy from the other guy from Sunny.
Sunny?
Sunny Philadelphia.
Always Sunny?
Yeah.
Glenn? Who?
The skinnier guy.
Okay.
He's in a movie called Blackberry and they're saying it's really good.
Is it about Blackberry? Oh, I remember the trailer.
Isn't it crazy that same weekend these guys release movies
Yeah.
and they're both saying that they're good?
I'll watch either. I might watch both, so.
If I watch both, we'll do both. But let's go with Fool's Paradise.
Okay.
You excited for those?
A little bit. I don't know. Since this is his first movie. Phone's vibrating. I don't know.
Wow, classy guy. Just hangs up on them. That's the kind of dedication I want on my podcast host.
Listen.
Yes.
I don't know. Just apprehensive. Is that the word?
Mm-hmm.
That we'll see. Blackberry, I feel like that's gonna be good, but this one, like, let me relax.
I hope it's like if it gets a 3.5, I'll be happy. What do you think it's gonna be?
I feel like a 4.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be apprehensive then. Ivan, it's time for a section called
Things and such.
Ooh, see what 1 week layoff does?
Does it?
Does it, baby? Ivan, the Dune trailer came out.
Yeah.
I forgot how good that score was. Excited?
A little bit. It just feels a little plain. They look all too pretty. I don't know. I'm glad Elvis is in it. Best character, and then Drax too.
That was when he was in it. When they showed his beautiful bald head, I was like, "Sign me up, daddy."
I just hope it's a lot more than the first one. Like,
has to be, right? Like it literally has to be.
Yeah.
Unless there's a volume 3 that we don't know.
Yeah, we'll just see. And I want Timothy to look older. Like, he still looks like a kid.
Yeah, I don't know.
He should have gained weight for this. I don't know why they didn't like bulk him up.
Swell him up.
Yeah, something.
But that's his part of his
appeal.
Yeah, he's skinny boy Timmy.
But Dune, like, he lived with these people for like a year or whatever it was.
What do they eat in Dune Land?
Dirt.
Sandworms?
Yeah.
Did they cut up some sandworm meat and just like barbecue
shish
it?
Kebab it.
Yeah, shish kebab it. Wonder how that
It'd be
tastes.
funny, like, go on your way, little guy.
Next.
Little jerky.
Oh, that's kind of gross. Evan, what have you been watching on the telly?
Succession.
It's a good place to start. That is a damn good place to start. Last time we talked about it was a while ago, so there's been 2 episodes that we've missed on the podcast.
I remember the one before it.
They go to Hollywood. The trio, bros go to Hollywood, and they mess some things up. Shiv and your boy
Rome.
Tom
Oh.
are intermingling again after a hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
Roman is going crazy,
Indeed.
firing everyone,
Yeah.
and Kendall is on the up and up
If you say
with
so.
with a great Apple-esque presentation of Living Plus.
Yeah.
Living Plus?
That felt random. Like I didn't like what.
They never mentioned it, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah. I like, okay, I guess.
And then in this last episode, they hosted a election party,
Yes. Tailgate
party.
whatever that is.
They do that, you know. I've done an Oscar tailgate party, and that was fun. You're like, oh, not really. Shim and Tav,
Shim and Tav. That's crazy. Shim and Tav. I like it though.
Shiv and Tom are royally fucked up.
Yes.
Kendall and Rome kinda can't do it right now.
Yeah.
And even Mattson is sucky.
Or is he?
One thing that I heard on this podcast was like it kind of feels a little too forced, everything that's going on.
But
Like Mattson character being so loony.
I mean, Elon.
But he's not like that, is he?
He's loony. He's a weirdo.
He's a weirdo, but he's not like sending
But we
blood.
also don't see like the inner workings of what he actually like. We see what he doesn't get to stop,
Right.
which is still kind of crazy. Like I'd imagine he still has even more.
What is like? Okay, maybe I'm like really tone deaf, but I feel like a lot of people hate Elon, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
What's the 2 or 2 or 3 things he's done that's bad?
I don't really know.
That's what I mean.
I think it's just he has an attitude.
But can't people have an attitude?
Yeah, but I think it's like a million tiny things where people are like, I don't know about this guy.
But like Tesla.
I don't know. I'm not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's actually things that obviously
like
he didn't make a
It's
Tesla.
like Steve Jobs again. Like he didn't do anything. I think he's just
The
he
face.
knows, yeah. Like I don't hate him, but I'm not like he just does things. I'm like you're kind of like weird. I don't really, and you like being weird as a billionaire.
But don't you have to be weird to be a billionaire? Like you think?
I guess.
Do you think Jay-Z is a normal guy?
Yeah, I think he wants to think he is.
Yeah, but he's a sicko.
Probably.
It's just interesting, like the idea of like this guy sucks, but wait, what did he do? He bought Twitter. No, but what did he do? He's letting people talk on Twitter. I think that's like the big thing now, like him unbanning Trump.
Yeah.
But free speech? Call me crazy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's your takeaways from the last 2 episodes of Succession? Like, what's
Everyone's gonna die in some way. Yeah. It's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
Greg's a demon.
Greg is a demon.
Through and through.
What about his number 2, Mattson's number 2?
That guy was funny. Like, what the? Like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Why is he just like the devil himself?
Good guy.
I don't know. Still a lot. 3 episodes left, and it feels like I still don't know what's happening.
Nope.
Anything.
We have an election, we have post-election, and then we have the funeral. The funeral is going to be fun,
Oh my
to
god.
say it bluntly.
And Roman's gonna be talking at it.
Yep.
Oh my god. So good.
Yeah. Can we see Roman cry for the first time? It's possible.
I feel like he's gonna laugh through it somehow.
Can't wait. What else have you been watching, Evan?
I've been watching this on. There's this channel that documents the life of a Minecraft Anarchy server. It's been going on for like 12 years, the server.
Uh-huh.
And they never changed the world. Like, so it's the same one since 2010 or whatever, but Minecraft keeps updating. So like things change so much where like they miss out on features because they need a new world.
Yep.
And it's just crazy, like the societies that like literally form in there. There's like, there's the one video, like the first one I saw is like this guy, he managed to find people's bases, and like the server is so big, it takes 500 real world hours to run across it, like with your character. And that's like constant. Like if you want to do it like normally.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like imagine how big that world is. And there's a guy who in the video, he stole from like a bunch of different bases, like all their supplies. And then like he gathered it all and like, he's like, why did I do this? So he came up with a plan to make, the Jesus statue in Brazil.
Yeah.
He got like a section of the map and made like 100 of those, like that size.
Yeah.
But with like a team of builders and each one with different materials. And he just like did it with all the stuff he stole.
So
like,
weird.
And the thing is like, you're open to people just destroying your work.
Yep.
So he had to keep it hidden. And then he had to, what he did to keep it hidden is he got accounts that he had himself, and he got people who wanted to build. He gave them that account that's already with the statues, so they wouldn't be able to give away the location to anyone else. Instead of like them getting their account and showing up.
Right.
He had like multiple accounts. Because like that's like a huge thing where people can figure out where a place is just by like the makeup of a river, like how it looks, because they can analyze like how it's formed.
Right.
And like figuring it out.
Like a real world.
Yeah. But it's just crazy. Like the things in the server. And it's like everyone hacks too. So it's like everyone's God mode duplicating everything. But it's not like you're supposed to hack.
Yes.
Like you're supposed to cheat and not get caught.
Yes.
Like it's part of the game. And it's insane. So I've been watching that.
What YouTube channel?
Yeah. And it's like the guy, he's like super like animated about it. It's like, what if I told you there was this place doing this and he got away with it? And he talks like that the whole time. And at first you're like, what the heck is this guy? But then eventually like, wow. Like that's, what if he did that? Like you're along with the ride eventually.
That's crazy. And did it give you inspiration of how to...
I think it just motivates me to keep going.
Yeah.
Because like the stuff they build, it's also insane.
Yeah.
Especially like, I know they cheat, but they kind of do it. They still build it like block by block. And it's just, it's crazy. And just like a sandbox game, to have this giant world.
So we've had this convo años ago, but maybe not eat too much next time. Just kidding. The idea of NFTs.
Yeah.
And how they can either hurt or help that kind of situation. Like imagine to every actual piece was worth like actual currency
Of that world?
Yeah, like imagine, I don't know Minecraft at all. So like, do you have to buy blocks to build something?
No, it's all, you could get everything naturally.
Okay.
Like it'd be hard in that server because like where you spawn, where you start in that area, it's just gone because like over years people just destroy it.
Yeah.
Explode it, lava everywhere. So it's usually like, ooh, a river, grass, beautiful. Now it's just like empty void.
Yeah.
And then like structures that you don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
But that's like for hours, like walking, circle it. I don't know how to say that. Like a radius of like
miles.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But like days walking.
Yep.
Like walk for 4 days any direction, it's gonna look the same, just like destroyed.
So how can
How do you survive?
no. If I want to build a building, how do I start in a regular place? In a regular server?
On that server?
No, on a regular server.
Oh. Well, you spawn with like, there's trees around, so you get some wood. You make like some tools.
Can you sell the wood in the game? Or can you buy wood?
With real money?
No, with the game money or whatever.
You could, but I mean, everyone can. There's so much wood. Like, there's nothing in a Minecraft world where it's not really renewable. Maybe like a handful of things, but you would have to be really weird to.
Is there anything that's super valuable in that world? Like getting a specific weapon, or taking a specific piece of land?
No, just 'cause there's just so much. Like, the value would be like, oh, I did this first, sort of thing. But even that's like, they put that value on it. Like, I have no value in like, oh, you beat that thing first. Like, I don't.
What about like a building? Like, if you build a building, you're saying someone can destroy it, right?
Yeah.
So there is value, because like you don't want people to destroy it.
Yeah, but it depends on the server you're playing. Like, you could have, if you're just with friends, you don't have to worry about that.
But what if you're playing the real game, like the actual game?
If you're like in a public.
Yeah.
That also depends, because there's servers where it's like you're not allowed to grief, even if you can. So you could destroy someone's house. You tell admin like, oh, look, they broke this block, and they ban them, and that's it. But there's servers where you can just do whatever.
What's what if someone's interested in buying something you build? Like, someone builds a cool castle and someone's like, oh, well, that's yours now.
Like, I want to live here.
Yeah.
Here's $1 million.
Or how can someone do that without even money right now? Like, if you build a cool castle and I want to be in that castle, can you just give it to me? Can I just stay in there?
Like a trade?
Yeah.
I mean, you could, but it'd be weird. I don't know what I would give up. Like, because it takes time to build things.
Right.
Like, I don't think anything they could do would have enough value where I would say like, here, have my whole base. Thanks for all these weapons.
What about real money?
I mean, sure.
Because what I'm saying is, like, you build this cool tower, right? Mm-hmm. And then someone's like, I'll pay you $5 for that.
But like, it doesn't make sense to do that, because not every server has value, I guess. Like, if you did that, you could do that on that Anarchy server I told you about, because that's like a legendary server.
Yes.
So if you build like a base with like everything, like you have a ton of weapons, ton of everything, you'd be like, look, I'll sell you this for $100. Like, that makes sense. What
about if also on top of that, it's like, I pay a guy $1 an hour for protecting this land? Because in the Anarchy server, like, what if they find that building and they're like, let's bombard it, right?
Yeah.
But the guy's like, I'll pay a team of army of like $1 each.
Yeah, you could. I think there's probably services for that server where you could do that. But people, like, they're so, like, they hack so much where if they know where you live, that's pretty much it. Like, there's really no defense against that.
Right. Not even with like people defending it?
Because they would have to stay there the rest of their lives.
Interesting.
Because the server's on 24/7.
Interesting.
Like, once you leave, like, oh, it's nighttime, they're probably not there. Or they see you there and they just sit in the corner until you log off and then just destroy your stuff.
Because I guess I'm just thinking of different ways you can pay people to play the game. And that's one way. It's like, if you protect my land, I'll pay you. And you can just have like almost like a marketplace where it's like, okay, I'm protecting this land for 3 hours, and you have like shifts of people, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a random thought with that.
You probably could in that server, because people, they sell coordinates to specific places, like on eBay. Not for a lot, but there's a stash of that was estimated to be like $14,000, like just total. But it's like an obscene amount of stuff.
Right.
Like there's a ton of work that went into that,
Right.
and that's like more than you would ever need. And the work that went into that is probably worth more than $14,000, like man hours wise.
Yes.
14,000 is just like what technically it costs.
Yes.
But nobody would buy that.
And I guess like the thing that NFTs slash like a current a game currency that can be used in the real world. A benefit of that, if it gets adopted into a game, any kind of game, whether it's Minecraft or something else, is that the ease of transacting is easier than going on eBay, and like buying something. Whereas if that gets just like embedded into the game, it's easier.
I don't know if it'll work just because a lot of Minecraft's like gentleman's agreement. Like that's the vibe of Minecraft.
Right.
So like actually paying, I think it would kind of ruin the spirit of the game.
Right.
Even if it's like NFTs. Because really it's like, can I have that sword? Sure. You toss it, they grab it. Okay. Can I have some diamonds? Sure. They toss it back. Like that's what it is.
Oh, see, it is that, right?
Yeah. But it's not, there's no like screen. You're just throwing it on the ground and they go pick it up.
Right.
But it's not like, oh, let me open the marketplace.
What do you do with diamonds in the game?
Weapons. They're part of the strongest weapons and armor.
See, there is like valuable weapons.
But anyone can get it. It's not like if you...
Is it hard to get though?
If you're new, yeah. But if you know what to do, which is like pretty much everyone who plays Minecraft now. And there's a ton of videos. It's like, this is the perfect level to mine for diamonds.
But it's just like anything, like or like skins, like people pay for skins, even though anyone can kind of have it if they just pay for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm new to this thing.
I can't see a way for money to be inside of like a server like that without it ruining the server.
Well, when it's already, I feel like the Minecraft culture is very specific, and putting money would dirty the spirit, the culture,
Yeah.
So probably it doesn't work that well. But if there's like something new and they find a way to make it not so nasty or greedy, like where there's actual stakes, you kill your player and that player actually dies and you have to create a new one or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, they wouldn't do that. Well, there's hardcore servers where like if you die, you can't play anymore. There's like a million different types of play styles.
So I'm saying like, since it has to be like a new server that does that, if a game just starts with like there's only one server, or there's not even a concept of a server, there's like this server that we all play on, and they make some hard coded rules like if your character dies, you have to restart with no money,
Like are you talking about like a new game? Like
yeah.
And it's just like, here's the world. This is the world for the next 10 years.
Yep.
And then they just let the people go free.
Yep.
It'll be tough because, like, if Mr. Beast publicizes that, that's like 1 trillion people going on that server, and then that server's dead because like they would just ravage the starting area, and like the people who would want to play, they're like, oh, everyone's just killing each other. Why would I want to play on this? Like it only works because this server only works because it's like 100 people and the start is so like grueling and like you will not live sort of thing. And you have to cheat.
Yeah.
And you have to break rules.
Right.
Which is like there's stories of people like doing actual illegal things of like finding out where people live through like just so they can find out where they live in the server.
Yes.
And like people who have been going to jail for that.
Well, that's what I mean. Like that happens everywhere, but I feel there's like older games that have that history with like, I think it's MMORPGs that have that kind of vibe where like, I'm just thinking and maybe it's hard for me to even think of it correctly because I have no idea how to play Minecraft or like the concept of Minecraft. So it's hard for me to communicate a business strategy correctly.
I think it works for MMOs because like you can't touch the world, like you can't really influence it.
Right.
But Minecraft is like one person could like absolutely destroy the world if they wanted to.
Yeah. But in real life, you can't do that.
What, destroy the world?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, but you could just like, well, how about I just kill somebody? Like that sort of thing.
Right.
And like nobody could technically stop you before you like you actually do it.
Yeah.
Unless you're like really stupid about it. You know?
Yes. Okay, I don't know.
Crazy world we live in.
Hey. I watched a movie called Somewhere in Queens.
I heard.
It is a 5 out of 5 for me. The rare 5 out of 5. I don't think I've ever given a 5 out of 5.
Shut up.
It's
this is the movie where I'm like, you like this?
It's Ray Romano, right?
Yeah.
And the lady from Roseanne back in the day. That's all I know her from. But Ray Romano, do you know, like, remember Dad and Mom watching what's the show?
Everybody Loves Raymond.
I remember them watching that show and like laughing out loud, and I'm like, these old guys, why are you watching this show? And then I watched this movie and I'm like, I think I know why.
It's funny.
It's not the movie's not like hilarious or there's funny parts, but he's like so relatable and so specific, and the movie is like very endearing. It's like it's bordering on cheese,
right?
But it nails it exactly. Highly recommended.
Rise of the Comedians. They're starting to move.
Louis C.K. He's making his movies. You know. Oh, what? You have another cancel culture thingy with him too? Shout out to Elon Musk.
I saw John Mulaney's stand-up.
Baby Bird.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, but he didn't talk about the things I wanted him to talk about.
Cocaine?
He talked about that like the whole time. I thought he was going to talk about his relationship. Because that's, well, the thing that was crazy about that situation for me was that like he was in a relationship and then like he cheated on her and then had a baby with Olivia Munn.
Yes, I heard about this.
And I thought like, oh, he's gonna come back with this, like, and he's gonna talk about it, but he didn't mention it at all. It's like, I don't really care, like the coke stuff. I'm good with that. The real crazy stuff is that you did that
because that's actually a bad person.
Yeah, because coke is like.
Like I partake.
Obviously not good, but like everyone has that sort of like self-destructive thing. Yeah. Like I'm okay with that because it's just like you're the only victim. Yeah. Even though that's not good, but to do that to like someone you loved and then like have no comment on it too, that's when I'm like, you're a little fakey. You're a little. You don't want to talk about it.
I heard a lot of like murmurs about him before like the bad stuff came out about him, and I just had this like negative connotation with him, and then I read it more about him. I'm like, oh, I guess doing drugs isn't that bad, and then I found out about what you're saying. I'm like, oh yeah, he's probably not the greatest guy, and this even confirms it even more. There's something off with him, isn't there?
Like I don't hate him, but like I think as a comedian, like your best stuff is gonna be like the darkest stuff. And he did not touch it at all. So it's like
too dark.
I don't know. I mean, I know it's like his right or whatever, but
maybe the new wife is like, if don't say anything about.
And that's like, well, you kind of lost your comedian chops. If like anything's holding you back, then you lost. Yeah. And it's still funny. It's a funny thing, but the fact that like there's something he's not talking about as a comedian, it's not good.
It's so, I would imagine it would be so difficult. Like you have to have a specific partner and a specific personality to be a good comedian. Yeah. Because like
they have to agree. Like, can I talk about this? No.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's kind of tough.
Yeah.
But I guess you can be like a clean comic and do it.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
his life. But I don't respect him anymore.
Was he funny?
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah.
He's funny, but he needs to say it. He needs to talk about it.
You know what that means? Frostio plumbers.
I don't know.
We can't save them?
I don't think so. Job's too big.
I went to Chicago.
Chicago.
Chi-City. Is it Chi-City or Chi-City?
I don't know. I'm not from there.
Went to a Cubbies game.
Cubbies.
That was fun. Had some pizza. That was pretty good. What else? I went to the South Side. I went to a basement for the first time in my life.
Basement?
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you ever been in a basement?
Not that I remember. But I could have.
It's kind of scary the way you say it. Not that I remember.
Oh, mother's calling.
Give that mother a ring-a-ding.
Hello? I'm at Adrian's house. Bye.
That's embarrassing. Just kidding.
For you.
Chicago, though. It's like the downtown was amazing. Like a river that goes through downtown. Can you imagine that? Like a river that goes straight through downtown. And it's a beautiful river.
Yeah. I mean, no, I can't. But
it's like a cool architectural decision.
I mean, we have a beach. We have a port. That's kind of cool.
True.
I think we're used to it, but I'd have to see other cities.
But it'd be cool if that port went into downtown. That would be dope.
I want like a giant like lake park, like a central park, but it's a lake, and then around that lake, it's like a park area.
Yeah.
Right in San Diego.
Yeah. I mean, we have Balboa Park, but it's too separate, you know? It's not connected as easily.
We need like an Eiffel Tower or like a Statue of Liberty. We need something. Because we're the best.
We are.
But nobody knows that.
Yeah. Sometimes I think we don't know that.
I don't even know that.
I don't know. Chicago was cool.
Yeah.
Southside was ghetto, but I liked it. Definitely go back. Lastly, I've been watching a lot of basketball. Oh, it's funny. There's like a soccer player that, you know, when they score a goal, they do celebrations.
Yeah.
And he did a celebration where he shot a basketball. And like, you can tell he never played basketball in his life. He's like,
oh.
And I was like, oh, that was hideous. But basketball, NBA playoffs. My team is the Lakers. We're doing okay. We lost yesterday to the Golden State Warriors. We're up 3-2 in a best of 7 series. That means one more game and we move on to the next round. The interesting thing about it is that sports are just weird, man. Like how it affects your mood. It is a thing to behold.
Is it still as big as it used to be? B-ball?
The good old b-ball game.
B-ball?
Is it as big as it used to be?
Like 5 years ago. Like, do you notice any differences? Because just like I didn't even know there was like a giant game going on.
Right.
Like I thought this was just starting, and they were saying like, it's the 7 game, right? It's
what?
Where they play 7 games.
Yeah.
It's
playoff series.
And then the winner gets the trophy, right?
No, not yet. This is like the second round and there's 2 more rounds after this.
So
the next round is like the Eastern champions and go against each other, and then the Western champions go against each other, and then the East and West meet for the championship.
That's that.
Yeah, but right now we're right before the Western champion.
We're doing the West right now.
Yeah, we're on the West. Well, we're doing West and East, but we're focusing on the Lakers, which is West.
Oh, so it's not even that big. So I wasn't too like.
No, but it's big because it's Steph Curry versus LeBron James.
That's never happened?
Not in the Western Conference. And it's like so early because LeBron was like amazing 5 years ago, but now he's like 40 years old or 38. And Steph Curry's team isn't as good as before. But for them to meet like before the finals is kind of crazy, especially when probably the 2 largest fan bases.
Yeah.
in the world are meeting at this stage.
Right.
So that's why it's big.
Okay.
And they're like legacy games are like whoever wins this is the best player.
I don't know. I'm like sick of that dynamic.
Yeah, it is kind of gross, and it is not true. Whoever wins doesn't mean one is better than the other. But
It does.
if LeBron wins, just kidding. Another crazy thing is like I love the Lakers, and I'm like not a like huge LeBron head.
Mm-hmm.
But like now that he's on the Lakers, I'm just like, go LeBron, you're the best. It's just like the ugliness of being a sports fan.
Right.
What else? There's just so many like little things that are interesting, like psychology wise.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that's it.
Can't wait till basketball dies.
It won't.
And we'll when LeBron retires. 2 years, he said.
Yeah, who knows? So his son got admitted to USC.
Okay.
So he's gonna play basketball there,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not as good, and
So embarrassing.
he could either play 1 year or like maybe 2 or 3, 4 years. But he always said that I want to play with my son. So he'll play as long as until his son makes
Just
it to
pumping
NBA.
up the juices in him so he like lives long enough to play with his son. Poor guy.
But he's still great.
Yeah, but like, is he gonna be great in like 20 years?
He just needs like
I mean, like
max-
healthy wise, like, I feel like.
He has like the most money spent per inch.
But there has to be like a consequence, like just
True. His
to the
feet
body.
must look ugly.
They do, but just like in 20 years, it will be like, oh, I probably shouldn't have taken all those enhancers,
True.
not called steroids.
True. Of course not called steroids.
Yes, just enhancers.
Yeah. I don't know. It is a beautiful thing to play with your son, but it's also like psychologically, how's
I
your
would
son?
never say
How's your
that.
son doing? You know?
Yeah, I would never ever say that. I'd be like, do what you want. If you want to play with me, try.
Ooh,
Loser.
you're a Logan.
A little bit, but like in
Dang.
a nice way. Like, if you're gonna go for it, I'm. But how about you do like coding instead? Like that sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Like, he could never live up to LeBron's legacy, so like it just seems weird, unless it's really, really his passion. But I think everyone like kind of just does what's in the family. Like, if you're part of family of writers, you're probably gonna write like that sort of thing. But if you're like dad is Stephen King, I'd probably like not ever do a novel and just like do like video games or something.
Yep.
It's still writing. Maybe
Yep.
for him, learn how to coach, like be a legendary coach or something,
Right.
or legendary ball maker.
Or how about don't touch basketball?
That too.
Yeah.
But if he loves it, it's hard to say like, you're never gonna live up to me. So why are you doing this, pipsqueak?
It's tough. It's it's. I mean, you're watching Succession right now, and we're living it. But
Yeah.
let's just hope that he's sane for.
If I were him, like LeBron, like I would think the only reason he did this is so his kids don't ever have to do like 20-hour training sessions. But his kids are doing it too.
But
Like I wouldn't want my kids to do that.
you would want your kids to be happy. Right?
Yeah.
That's like the goal.
Give them $2 million. That's all they need.
No, you know that's not true. This is it. Anything that makes you to be happy, you have to do something that you're okay with doing a lot,
Yeah.
whether that's basketball or whatever.
Yeah.
So he should want his kids to do 20-hour work days of something.
But in their way, because like
Yes.
I'm sure LeBron put in so much of his work when he was like 10 to 20. Like that's where
Yes.
like the pain was.
Right.
And he's still going through it with like whatever they're pumping him with.
Yeah. Jesus.
Whatever they're pumping him with.
Yeah.
But I like in my situation, I would be like, I don't want you to do. I did the 10 to 20 grind years of basketball because that's all I knew how to do.
Yeah.
Like you can literally do anything and you're gonna do that. Like I would tell him like do something.
Yeah.
Like you could
Be your own person.
yeah. Like there's so many things you could be a master of.
There's thousands of ways to skin a cat.
Exactly. I don't know. I guess if he loves it, sure, but
That's the point, though. Yeah. Like,
but and then is he psychologically prepared enough to realize he's probably not going to be? He's going to just be disappointed, and then like there's no other way unless he's insanely good and even better than LeBron, and you can't.
I mean, there's probably only 2-3 people max that's ever been better than LeBron.
Yeah,
and that's out of how many billions of people ever to live on Earth. That's kind of crazy, you know?
yeah. Like
imagine just being Michael Jordan, being like, "I'm literally better than anyone has ever lived." That's actually creepy. I'm getting creeped out.
And then your son wants to do it too. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're just gonna be in the shadow. Like,
yeah.
Are you
so
okay
that's
with that?
Oh, so that's a bad father, right?
So
Because he should have been like, "You're not allowed to play basketball."
I don't know. That's bad too. I would say like, do it, but
good luck. That's hard.
Yeah, you have to tell him like, be humble, like be realistic, but also follow your dreams, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it just like basketball, like just that's the one thing he shouldn't have done. That's it. He would have been good. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe we're wrong. There's just such a likelihood that I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Because Logic.
Yeah. The rapper, right?
Yes.
Because Logic, the rapper.
That's who I meant.
Obviously. I think that's it, Ivan. I think we talked about Guardians for 30 minutes and then
Minecraft and
LeBron's kids and Minecraft for 45 minutes.
The triple
entendre.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, people. We'll be back next week with Fool's Paradise and maybe Blackberry. Hope to see you then. Peace out.
Bye.